Hello everyone, Namaste. Welcome to another episode of RightCast. I'm your host Icha Pandey. Joining us today is very special guest all the way from Canada, Mr. Stephen Sung, International Recruitment Coordinator from the University of Regina, one of the leading university known for its welcoming environment and commitment towards student success. In today's episode, we'll be delving into a topic that matters most to the students like work opportunities, career services in Canada. Welcome to show, sirs.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I am doing fine. Nice to be back in Paul.
Okay. So I would like to initiate our conversation asking you about the Canada and University of Regina.
Sure.
What makes it stand out for the international students?
One thing that stands out is that we offer excellent student service support, meaning that all the international students, when they arrive, the first thing when they arrive in Regina Airport, they'll see our volunteers from our international student service team. So they will feel welcome immediately after they land. And then when they get to housing, their residents, they will be ready with their dormitory. And from there, we can take care of other things as well, such as we can get them set up with their healthcare. Yes, you get healthcare in our province, as well as dental for all the parents out there. Coming to University of Regina, you don't need to worry about getting a dental insurance because we have dental.
Okay.
Yeah. So there are a lot of things. So our student service team, they offer help regarding visa, work-related questions, academic support. So many things.
Oh, that's impressive to know how university is supporting the students. So I would like to ask you about the programs. Like many students from this region are interested in like business program, computer science. So which programs are most popular among the students in University of Regina?
Yeah, so right now, I would say that computer science is the most popular one. But based on our labor market demands, so that's very important, right? Because you have to pick the right programs for you to, in order for you to get a job in the future. So right now, we have seen demands from many different kind of fields. For example, accounting, that's under business. We don't have enough accountants in our province right now because a lot of internationals, after they graduate, they tend to stay because our province is very friendly and they're very encouraging for students to stay after they graduate. So population has been skyrocketing and we don't have enough accountants. Another program will be same thing, education. We don't have enough teachers because a lot of times when students, when they stay, they have families, right? And they have kids. So we don't have enough teachers. And another thing I would say is engineering. So our economy is booming and our province is famous for its natural resources such as fossil fuels. So we need a lot of engineers to help us maintain the machineries and as well as help with the architecture and other things. Yeah.
Okay, that's great to know about the programs at the University of Regina and the interested student from this region. So moving on, I would like to ask you about as an international student, they look for the work opportunities.
Right.
Yeah? What are the career services provided by the University of Regina to the students?
Okay. So our student service, again, going back to student service. So we offer resume workshop and we also provide mock interviews for students. So there are a lot of part-time job opportunities, both on campus and off campus. And for many students, it will be their first time actually working. So they don't really know what it's like to go through interviews, what to put on resume.
Yeah.
So our advisor can help them with that. And as well as when they are in their late second year, they can also apply to such a thing called co-op.
Yeah.
Once they do co-op, they're going to be working full-time. They're not going to classes. And of course, we're only going to put them into the field that they study. So it will be a job that's related to the study. We're not going to put them into McDonald's.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's something that, once they start doing co-op, they'll earn full-time salary and they can put that on their resume.
Okay. So how long they can work?
Oh, how long for co-op?
Yeah.
So for co-op, it's I would say anywhere to 8 to 12 months long, sometimes shorter, sometimes a little bit longer, but typically a year. So for most people, it's 2 semesters.
Okay, that's great. So as rules and regulation of the Canada has been changing,
Right.
what are the things that students need to be aware before going there?
I think one of the things that that was announced by RSCC a couple days ago. So one of the things that we need to worry about is students need to pay attention to is whether or not the programs that you're selecting is eligible for PGWP or not. PGWP is postgraduate work permit. So at this stage, some programs are eligible, some programs are not. But right now, all the bachelor degrees at public university are eligible for PGWP after students graduate.
Okay. So what is the duration? Could you please elaborate on that?
Yeah. So for most people, it will take about 4 years to graduate. So if you take 10 classes per year, you will graduate in 4 years. But we also understand that sometimes people's plans change. They might take maybe 8 classes. So in that case, they will graduate maybe 1 or 2 semester slower. But typically 4 to 5 years.
Okay, 4 to 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay. So moving to new country is really challenging and
Yes.
overwhelming at the same time,
Yes.
right? So what is University of Regina doing to students in terms to make them feel at home? Like, they are providing accommodation services also. What are there?
So again, our international student service team, they offer a lot of academic support, but what's most importantly, they also have such a thing called peer advisors. So where they can talk to other fellow international students who have been there maybe for 2 or 3 years. They can offer advices, what to do when they're looking for help, and as well as 24-hour hotline they can reach out to in case if they just want someone to talk to.
Okay.
We do have a lot of different student clubs, student unions. So that could be hobby based, or it could be based on different cultures. So students are free to join those as well, and the older students, of course, they can provide support for the younger students.
That's great. But what about the accommodation? It is on campus or it is off campus?
Yeah, so we do have accommodation on campus. We actually have quite a few of them, and you don't have to worry. I would say that students and parents don't have to worry about them being full, because unlike the big cities, we don't have housing issues in Regina. So if you apply, before January 31st, you will get the room style that you want. So I'll maybe go through a little bit of the styles. So we have apartment style, where students can, they will get their own private bedroom, and they'll just share 2 bathrooms and kitchen, living space with maybe 4 or 5 other people. But if you don't like to hang out with other people, you can also get the private dormitory. That is, you get your private bedroom and your private bathroom. So I think that's pretty good, and that's pretty unique.
That's really thoughtful what University of Regina is doing for students. So I would like to ask you about as students are not used to working and studying at the same time, in their own country here in Nepal.
Right.
So what advice would you like to give to the student while balancing their study and the work?
Okay. So when I was a student, I also worked part-time as well, and I have never worked more than 20 hours. Right now in Canada, it's so the regulation says that it's going to change to 24 hours a week. But I would say that you are still a student. That is what you should be focusing on. In the end, you have to focus on your academics rather than working. But with that being said, I think 10 to 15 hours, that's more than enough to support your personal expenses, such as going out with friends, food, and groceries. That will be enough. So I would say that try to work maybe 10, 15 hours, and then see if you can handle a little bit more. But if not, just keep it within that range.
Okay, that's really thoughtful. And next question I would like to ask you about, many students are curious, like, is GMAT or GRE required or not for master's degree? Yeah,
for a master's degree, I would say that GMAT, GRE, they're only required if you're looking at MBA. So MBA, we're looking at a minimum GMAT score of 500 and or a GRE equivalent. But for the other programs, they are not required.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so from the international student perspective, they
Yes.
definitely look for financial and scholarship aid. Does University of Regina provide?
Yes, we do offer scholarships for international students. We do offer two kinds of entrance scholarship. One is a one-time only $3,000. So we only look at their academics. They don't need to write an essay. They don't need to write a personal statement. Also, they don't need to make a separate application. Once the application has been submitted, my colleague will automatically consider them for a scholarship if they meet the criteria.
Okay.
And we do have a bigger one. The biggest scholarship for international students is our International Distinction Scholarship. That is essentially it's in the form of free housing and free meal plan.
Oh, wow.
They only need to pay tuition and the fees. That's it. And for that, it's also renewable. So it's up to 4 years.
Okay.
So again, like the smaller scholarship, we just look at your academics and no separate application needed.
Okay. So talking about smaller scholarship
Yeah.
that you mentioned, is it for 3 years, 4 years, or what is it?
So that's a one-time scholarship.
So it's for 1 year.
Yes. Well, it's just a one-time. Once we give that $3,000 out, and that's it.
Ah, okay.
But we do offer other scholarships once they arrive on campus. So a lot of them are I would say most of them are merit-based, and some of them will be depending on the faculties. So there will be scholarship based on STEM or business. So a lot of different scholarship. Students will need to qualify for the scholarship, and they'll also need to look up the scholarship themselves.
Okay, that's great. Talking about the skills, what skills are that students need to develop while after postgraduate?
So I think one of the skills that students need to develop, besides the academic part, of course, that's very, very important. I think it's the social, the networking skills. A lot of students, when they're, a lot of times they focus so much on academics, they kind of lose out on the social aspect of it, the connections. For example, if given a chance, if students could work at a department office, they could get to know the directors or managers, and if they get along well, if there's a job opening, if you perform well, there's more likely that they will hire you, right? I'll give you one example. So, and last year we had a co-op student. So she was at our office for 8 months, and so later when she graduated not too long ago, and then we happened to have a job opening, and she applied, and she got it, and she's an international student.
Okay.
So yes, because we know her, we know what her abilities are, so we really like her, so we gave her the offer. So,
It means students definitely need to explore the opportunities to get it.
yes, I would say that get involved in student clubs, student unions, meet with different people. Don't be afraid to meet people, especially people that you're not familiar with. Yeah.
Okay.
And
What do you like to suggest to the student who are quite introvert?
Okay, introverts, huh? I would still say that try your best to meet with different people. Maybe try in a group that that you have similar interests, like hobbies.
Yeah.
And then slowly move out to maybe group that's in your department. Like for example, business got their own student union. Maybe try that one if you're in business. So at least you can meet people who can offer you help, or who you can hang out with after classes. So that's something that I think introverts can start first. And of course, it'll be difficult to change how introverts think, but at least give it your best. Just start with meeting people with similar interests first.
Okay. So as we wrap up, any piece of advice you would like to give to the student who are aspiring to go to study in Canada?
Yeah, that's actually a very, very good question. So I'm sure many of you have heard or have seen maybe videos on social media or people's opinion about Canada recently.
Yeah.
But I would like to let you know that Canada is a nation built by the immigrants. Most of us are immigrants or descendant of immigrants. So we are a multicultural country. That's what we're very proud of. That's in our constitution. You have the right to maintain your culture, your religion, and no one can take away from that. Take anything away from that. And we are, despite all the rhetorics that you might have heard, Canadian public, we're still very welcoming, and we would like extend our deepest gratitude for all the hard work that international students and immigrants have contributed to our society. So that rest assured that once you choose Canada, you'll be making the right decision.
Thank you so much, Stephen, for joining us.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure having you here.
Thank you.
Thank you.